Thank you for joining the live tonight. It doesn't tell me who joined, but I appreciate you joining anyway. We are painting our Tyranid Hive fleet that we have created. It took a while to figure out a name for it, but we have settled on Hive Fleet Haphaestus. Rebecca, thank you for joining. We are in the middle of painting our Tyranids. I am live streaming on both YouTube and TikTok tonight, so I'm getting everything set up for the YouTube as well. But thank you for joining over on TikTok. Our current gift goal is 12 tiny dimies, and you get to pick the next miniature that we purchase for the fleet. We've also officially named the Hive fleet. It's taken some time to sit down and determine what this Hive fleet was going to be named. Royal Dan, thank you for joining. But yes, Hive Fleet Hephaestus is the official name of our Hive fleet. Kelsey, thank you for joining. We are streaming on both TikTok and YouTube right now. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm checking on our YouTube, making sure that there's no likes or. Not sure why my phone did that. Let's get it situated here. There we go. Tario, thank you for joining. Kraken, thank you for joining. We're finishing up one of our Tyranids. Then we're going to move on to another Tyranid. Between these two, yeah, that's going to be the one that's not going to get the effect. So what I'm doing is some of these are getting a drool effect, some of them aren't. All of them are getting a specific carapace that, along with the color scheme, will let others know that these are part of Hive Fleet Hephaestus, as we have officially named them. How's everyone's night going? Gorplotix, thank you for joining. James Mason, thank you for joining. Stan Love, thank you for joining. Emilio, you as well. Thank you for joining. We are finishing up this model we started last night, and then we are moving on to the next model. Andrew, thank you for joining. Like I said, I'm just finishing up this model real quick. And then we will move on to the next one. Tiffany Lane, Aubrey, thank you for joining. Our current gift goal is 12 Tiny Dinies. If we reach 12 Tiny Dinies, you all get to pick the next Tyranid that I purchase for the fleet. We have finally chosen a name for it, and it is Hive Fleet Haphaestus. For those that have been following us throughout the entire series of us painting all these termagants. Discord Prince, thank you for joining. We're just finishing up our Tyranid that we started yesterday. And then we are moving on to another Tyranid. Same models, still Termagants. Michael Talon, thank you for joining. We are finishing up the Termagant from last night, and then we are moving on to another one. Gonzo, thanks for joining, buddy. Two Tiny Dinies. Rawr, rawr, rawr. I appreciate it, buddy. Oh. I do apologize if you hear a little scarecrow in the background. He just woke up. You have a good one, Gonzo. I appreciate you just distributing those Tiny Dinies. Models and Games, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. We're still working on the Termagants, but we have finally chosen a name for them for their Hive Fleet. This is Hive Fleet Hephaestus. Once again, I apologize if you do hear a little scarecrow in the background. He just woke up from his nap, and he is not in a good mood. This one is almost done. I just got to do the dots on the eyes and the red on the claws, and he will be done. Some of them I'm choosing to forego the second wash of the red, just to make sure that everything blends well, and that you can tell a difference between this one and, like, for instance, this one. It's not much of a difference, but you can tell this one is a little bit of a darker shade of red. Pamela Walsh, thank you for joining. Lost Treasures, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. This one is done. Okay. Oh, my back. Which one do we want to do? We want to do this one next. Thomas Mize, thank you for joining. Card Products, thank you for joining. We're in the middle of painting some Tyranids right now. And then we will move on to something else. Depends on what I have in the pipeline after this. I do have one figure that I can, I have two figures, three really, that I could paint. I just got to prime one of them. And we are looking into potentially also getting Groot and Rocket Raccoon from Crisis Protocol. What color did I paint the bottom of that one? It's this one here. I painted it black. Okay. Just had to make sure. Tess, thank you for joining. LBJ, thank you for joining. Appreciate it, buddy. We are working on some nids as usual. Kruger, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. We're just painting some Tyranids like usual. Trying to get this set done. So I am using the original Army Painter War Paint set. So the skin is the Army Painter's version of Vampire Blood, or Vampire Red. The carapace is matte black. The line on the carapace is pure red. The stripes on the carapace is wolf gray. The teeth, which I think I gotta do the teeth on this one again. I think it was that one I just finished. Whichever one this one I gotta do them anyway. The teeth we're doing skeleton bone, and then green skin is the internal vents and everything like that. It's a color, or it's a custom Hive fleet. We've just named it today. And it is called Hive Fleet Haphaestus. Matt, thank you for joining. So I take it are you painting the carapace bone white, or are you painting the exoskeleton, like the skin of it, bone white? The skin, okay. Yeah, I've seen some people do some really nice things with that being white. What I'm doing, here's an example of one of my favorite ones I've done so far, is I'm taking the entire bottom and I'm painting that green, and I'm making a two-tone Hive fleet. But at the same time, I'm also making it unique to where no two carapace is the exact same. So do I. That green is amazing. I'm not sure how the Fanatics line compares to it, because I haven't used the Fanatics line yet. But I'm hoping it does similar effects. But part of the only reason why that green looks that good is because of how I primed it. I started with a Zenithal highlight, and then I went into it with a strong wash, so it's more of a sepia wash. And then once I had that dried, I just went over it. And it lightens it up enough to where it doesn't look too bright. Or darkens it, I should say. It darkens it up to where it doesn't look too bright against the red. So I am using a really dark red as well. Miles and Games, thank you for joining. Thank you, Kruger. You have a great day. I appreciate that. Tony Val, thank you for joining. Chase Mason, thank you for joining. Bridget Carey, thank you for joining. Okay. Oh. Lamensa Science, Markeem, thank you for joining. Currently, I just need to fix one thing on one of our units. I forgot to give it teeth. I hope everybody that is watching is having a great day. Three, thank you for joining. War Games James, thank you for joining. Colin Chester, thank you for joining. Mama Scarecrow, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Arturo, thank you for joining. Royal Kingsley, thank you for joining. Larissa, JC Denton, thank you for joining. Bad Dice Roll, thank you for joining. Thank you for the gifts, Bad Dice. I appreciate it. Nice. I'm just sitting here working on the Tyranids. I'd probably be going for about another half hour to an hour. Then I'll be getting off for bed. I appreciate the likes, Bad Dice. I appreciate that. Miguel, thank you for joining. If anyone has any questions regarding my painting style or anything like that, just let me know. 3D prints. Thank you for joining. I am not sure what happened there. Bear with me, everyone. I just lost. There we go. For some reason, I lost my live stream over on YouTube for a second there. Donnie, thank you for joining. Okay, what did I see that I needed to fix? That right there for sure, because that's a major flaw. Green right there. Whatever. I'm doing all these red. Okay, so that one should have been green all along. Gotcha. Now, I know I said I'd probably be doing this for another hour or half an hour. It's getting a little too hot and my back's starting to hurt me. So we're going to call it here. I think we've gotten some good progress going so far. Just got a little bit of work to do on the greens and reds still. In fact, I'll just finish that up real quick. This is where we got is the carapaces to do. I want to thank everyone that did join the live for joining. Thank you for the tiny Donnie. Rawr. Hodge, thank you for joining over on YouTube. We're actually going to call the live here today. For some reason, my back just started killing me. But I appreciate you showing up. What we're working on currently are Tyranids for Warhammer. And it's kind of hard to see with the lighting here. If you follow us on TikTok, you'll be able to see them better over there. But yeah, with that, we're going to call it a night here tonight, guys. I do apologize. Another tiny Donnie. Rawr. Once again, I do apologize for the lack of entertainment. I'm just, for some reason, my back's locking up and I got to get into a bath and heat that up and get it fixed. I'm breathing too. We will be continuing So don't worry about that. This model in the morning. Or not in the morning, but tomorrow. I'm hoping to be able to be on longer. But with that being said and done, I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.